A freshman forward from Lewis Center, number 28, Delaney Earl. And in between the pipes for the Cardinals, a sophomore goalkeeper from Worcester, number 1, Aaron Gordon. The Cardinals are led by head coach Brandon Coons in his 20th season, assisted by Steve Bartram, Andrew Pullman, and Chad Simpkins. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask at this time that you please rise and honor America for the playing of the national anthem.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are set and ready to go here in Westerville, Ohio. And quick reminder here, if Otterbein wins this matchup, they will go on to face either number 2 Ohio Northern or number 3 Mount Union. Same goes for number 4 Capital. However, if Otterbein does win, they will remain at home for the remainder of the series. If Capital wins, they would have to go over to Alliance or Ada to play Mount Union or Ohio Northern, as they are the lower seed. So interesting little turn of events there. So Otterbein could very easily be eliminated and lose all sort of home field advantage, and same could go for Capital, as Capital would have to sort of climb the ladder going from the first round all the way to the finals and playing pretty much an entire away schedule, going to Otterbein and possibly to Ohio Northern or Mount Union. And the last time Otterbein played Ohio Northern played Otterbein, it was a tie game after a double overtime score of 2-2. The last time Otterbein played Mount Union, score was a 2-0 shutout here in Westerville, Ohio. And quick reminder here, Otterbein is also undefeated here in Memorial Stadium, a total of 8-0 over the course of the season. So just a quick little refresher there. As far as away games go, on the other hand, Otterbein doesn't have too bad of a record either, 5-2-1, and a 1-0 neutral record as well. And a quick reminder of the last time Capital went up against the Ohio Northern Polar Bears or the Mount Union Purple Raiders. The last time that happened, there was a score of a 1-0 loss to Ohio Northern and a 1-0 win against Mount Union. So it'll be interesting to see how those sort of stack up against each other. And we are off here in Westerville, Ohio, as Otterbein quickly is off to a fast start here, trying to get downfield as quickly as possible. And now the ball's taken away by Jordan Fike, and she passes it off to the far side of Casey King. King passing it back over. King's going to try to pick it over to to Petticord. Petticord kicks it off of Priscilla Severance, and it'll be Capital ball. As Petticord gets ready to throw it off from the near sideline here. Capital going north to south to start the game, and Otterbein going south to north. Capital with the ball. Capital trying to make their way downfield, and they'll get picked off by Priscilla Severance. Severance making her way downfield early. Severance going downfield, going up against the Capital Crusader. Looks like she's going up against Petticord. She gets knocked down by Petticord, And she is on the ground, a little bit slow to get up there, a little bit ginger there, as Bachman takes the ball. Bachman setting up for her goal kick. The ref talking to Severance, making sure she is A-OK and nothing too severe happened there. It looks like she'll run it off and she'll be A-OK. As Bachman sets up a little stutter, and there it goes. There's the ball. Good high kick around to the 40-yard line. Recovered by Capital's Casey King. King on the near sideline. Go up against two Otterbein defenders, and she'll get swallowed up by Priscilla Severance and Haley Guerra. Severance passing it off to Mosca. Mosca back over to Guerra, and Guerra kicking it over to Cassie Nickel. Now a little bit of a volley here as Mosca looks to have retained it, and it'll be picked off by Casey King. King passing it over to Dion. Dion inside to Rotolo. And it'll be kicked off by Otterbein over to the far side and away from their side of the field. Now, Capital with the ball. Looked like Casey King kicked it off of the leg of Priscilla Severance, and it'll be Capital ball. And this is pretty similar weather that we had last week here in Westerville, Ohio, as it was pretty much raining all day up until the beginning of the game. And the ball will be kicked off here. Will be kicked off of Gans, and it'll be Capital ball being tossed in by Casey King. King tossing it inside. Looks like it's going to be around Rotolo. Rotolo gets picked off, however, by the Otterbein defense. It'll be Capital ball as it's launched out of bounds, never hitting the ground. Thrown in by Petticord. Petticord tossing it into Fike. Fike with the ball. Fike trying to kick it out of bounds off of Priscilla Severance, but Severance keeps it in bounds. Kicks it back to her players as now Gans appears to be running for the ball up against the Capital defense as the ball gets kicked off to the far side and retained by Otterbein. Otterbein keeps it in bounds, but it's going to get picked up here by Capital, and it'll be Capital ball on the far side of the football field. Again, Capital trying to make their way downfield, and they'll get picked off here by Otterbein, and it'll be Otterbein ball on the far sideline. Otterbein tossing it back in over the head of a Capital defender. And it'll be kicked back out of bounds and become Capital ball. Now Capital tossing it on the far side. Here they go. Capital with the Otterbein steals the ball, however, and they're making their way downfield. Haley Hott making her way down, and she'll pass it off to the inside over to Gans. Gans dribbling around a couple defenders. Picked up by Severance. Severance gets tripped up, however, and it'll be a foul here on Casey King of Capital. As Priscilla Severance again ginger to get up. We're not even 5 minutes here, not even 4 minutes even into the game. And Priscilla Severance has already taken 2 knockdowns by the Capital defense, and she'll take a penalty kick here off of Casey King. Man, what a bit of a physical way to start this first game. Setting up for the penalty kick will be Bella Shively. Here we go. Ball, however, soars over the goal, and it'll be a goal kick here for Capital. Good attempt there by Shively, just sort of a bit too high for the goalpost. And it'll be Capital ball as Bachman sets up for the kick. Stutter step, and here we go. Be sorted around. Oh, good bounce there. Good positive bounce there for Bachman as it'll bounce all the way out to the Otterbein 30-yard line there. And it'll be tossed in by Cap as Otterbein made some contact around the 40 there. Tossed in by Capital. Picked off over by Otterbein. And Otterbein around midfield, sort of far midfield here, as they kick it far downfield and try to get into the range of their star player. I believe it's Delaney Earl. Earl downfield. Earl trying to make her way around the defender. And looks like there's going to be some pretty stingy defense being played there on the far side. Good play by Cap. Looks like they might call. Looks like it was a offsides call there on Delaney Earl. And it'll be Otterbein ball. Kickoff by Cap. Now Fike with the ball. Fike trying to pass it inside. I believe, to Mount. Correction. It looked like she passed it off inside there to Rotolo. And Rotolo kicked that a little too far out of bounds for the range of the goal. And it'll be a goal kick here for Otterbein. Good kick by Otterbein. And around the 30 there into Priscilla Severance's feet. Severance passing it back off to Gans. Gans wearing the face mask for her broken nose that she attained a couple weeks ago. Passing off to Severance. Severance trying to pass it off to Shively. It will bounce off Shively's foot, however, into the feet of Murray. Murray passing it off to her players. It'll be recovered by Otterbein. Otterbein, however, will get swept out. Get the ball swept out from under him as Fike has the ball. Fike again with the Jets. Fike trying to pass it off inside. Fike, however, gets blocked, retains the ball, and gets blocked there. Good save by Gordon. And great awareness there by Fike, finding the open ball, realizing that the pass wasn't made, and just finding a way to get back over there and take a shot. Good effort there by Cap. And Otterbein recovers the ball off the goal kick. And they'll get tripped up there on the far sideline. Looks like getting tripped up over there was Haley Hott. Haley Hott's going to set up for this kick, however. And will be set off. Yeah, a little stutter step here. And here we go. Good hard kick there by Haley Hott as they'll get recovered by Capital almost immediately and kicked back to around midfield. Good recovery by Capital. Capital, again, passing it off to the far sideline. And it'll be recovered by Otterbein. Recovered by Otterbeins Haley Hott. Haley Hott kicking it off to to Gans. Emily Gans. Gans still with the ball. Gans try to kick it off to the far side. Like Gans try to kick it off over there to Delaney Earl on the far sideline, and it'll be out of bounds. And Capital ball after that sort of exchange there. Now Capital setting up for the toss in, and here we go. Recovered by Cap, and sort of Capital player on the far sideline getting pretty much swallowed up by that Otterbein offense there. And Otterbein trying to make the way around as Emily Gans tries to dribble around a defender. Can't find an open woman, so she'll just dump it off to the far side over to Earl. Earl kick it inside, and it'll get headed away by Carly Murray. Now with the ball is, I believe with the ball back there was Sydney Young, and Young will get picked off as well by Cap. Now the ball is Otterbein. Garrett passing over to Priscilla Severance. Severance working up against Casey King. Been a matchup so far throughout the game. Severance try to kick it off to the inside. It'll bounce off the side of the goal, not really near the actual crossbar itself, and it'll be a goal kick as it falls out of bounds for Capital. Setting up again for the kick will be Bachman. And here we go. Bachman lets off the kick, and it'll be recovered by a header by Severance. Severance, however, heads it right back over to the feet of Bridget Mallon. Mallon kicking it off over to the midfield player for Capital. It was Carly Murray, but it's stolen by Sydney Young. Young passing it over to Katie Best. Best passing it over to the far side over here to Priscilla Severance. And it's recovered by Capital on the near side, near their area, as Bridget Mallon tries to dump it off over. As Garrett kicks it back over to Sydney Young. Young looking for an open woman, and she'll find one. Haley Hott. Haley Hott kicking it over to Bella Shively, and Shively's out of range for that kick, and it'll roll out of bounds and be a goal kick for Capital. Again, a lot of good moves being made here for Otterbein. Otterbein just not kicking it in the range of their players when they are downfield, and it always just ends up rolling out of bounds. So a lot of missed opportunities so far early on for Otterbein. Now with the ball was Capital. Capital off the goal kick. Sort of launches it, rolls right outside of the far sideline. It'll be Capital ball after it bounced off the foot of an Otterbein player. With the ball is Capital. Looking for an open woman to throw it to. And she couldn't find one, so she kind of just dumps a little lateral shift right there to one of her players on the inside. A little sneaky move there, but it's kind of sniffed out here by Otterbein as they recover the ball around midfield by Shively. Now with the ball is Sydney Young. Young trying to kick it inside to, I believe, Emily Gans, as Gans is again out of the reach and sort of surrounded by a couple defenders there by Capital, and it'll roll out of bounds and be a goal kick for Capital. Again, another opportunity here missed for Otterbein. We're about 34.5 minutes left into the game of the first period. Kicking off will be Capital. A couple of volleys here and there are now being volleyed back and forth between Otterbein and Cap as the ball is headed out of bounds by Annie Mosca. Unintentional there. She tried to pass it off to Priscilla Severance, but it just rolled out of bounds there. Now with the ball is Capital. Casey King working up against Severance. King kicking it out of bounds. And it is Otterbein ball. Good move by Severance, staying aggressive there. And she'll pass it off here to Guerra. Again, great move by Severance, staying aggressive, staying on top of King and making her kick the ball out of bounds there. Again, King versus Severance. As King tries to dump it off to Murray, and Murray will get picked off by Haley Hott. Hott trying to kick it off of the leg of a Capital defender. It looks like she kicked it off the leg of Hillary Counts, and she'll get the ball. It'll be Otterbein ball on the far side, and they'll toss it in here. Now with the ball are the Cards. And Otterbein working on the far sideline. Haley Hott here with the ball. Hott trying to pass it off to, it looks like Bella Shively. And it'll run out of Shively's range again. It's going to get launched out to the far sideline by Kelly Bachman. And Bachman so far has been practically uncontested throughout the game, as not a single shot on goal or goal against that she has had to block against after that soaring kick by Bella Shively. Now with the ball is Otterbein. Mosca with the ball. Mosca passing over. Looks like it's going to be with Sydney Young. Now, correction. That was not Sydney Young. Oh, and Mosca sort of launches the ball as it flies through the uprights on that one. And it would be good if this was football, but this is a different kind of football. This is football, not football. So here we go as Bachman sets up for another goal kick. As I believe that pass was intended for Delaney Earl. The ball is Otterbein. Haley Guerra with the ball. Guerra showing off the moves here. Guerra passing it off to Emily Gans. Gans try to pass it back to Guerra as Severance looks like she's going to recover the ball, but she's coming up against Casey King. It's been a difficult matchup for her throughout the game, and it'll be Otterbein ball, however, as King kicks it out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for Otterbein. And setting up for the kick will be Severance as she just dumps it off quickly to Shively. Shively try to kick it inside, and it gets blocked by Bachman. Good save by Bachman off the inside shot by Shively. And good recovery there by Capital, as Capital immediately gets it off their side of the field and just puts the pressure right back on Otterbein. And looks like there's going to be a call here. Looks like it's going to be an out-of-bounds call here on Cap as Otterbein sets up the throw it back in, and they will as they recover. Now with the ball, Capital Otterbein kind of volleying back and forth, open ball there as Guerra recovers it, just sort of nudges it out of bounds there. It'll be Capital ball. Tossing it in for the Crusaders will be Jordan Fike. Fike setting up for the toss-in. No, correction, that is Rotolo. Rotolo setting up for the toss-in. King recovering the ball. King trying to kick it around back and forth here as she gets headed out there by Guerra. Guerra being sniffed out, however, by Carly Murray. Now with the ball is, by Jade Hoffman. Correction. Now with the ball after a couple of volleys back and forth will be Otterbein. Otterbein with the ball as they try to kick it back inside by Haley Hott. Haley Hott sort of, however, misses her intended target, and it'll be Capital ball. Setting up for the kick. It looks like she's going to punt it in here. Will be Bachman. And she will, but it gets recovered by Otterbein. It looked like it was going to be recovered by Bella Shively, but Shively will dump it back off to her teammates here. At the ball's Capital as they recover it from their side of the field. And they're getting worked right now by Otterbein, as Otterbein's been playing aggressive all day, just sticking to them like glue. As Cap again has the ball, trying to dump it off to Casey King. King gets picked off by Severance. Good play by Priscilla Severance, keeping the ball out of King's feet. Now, volleying back and forth will be Otterbein. Otterbein trying to volley back and forth down Capital side of the field as they try to pass it off to Shively. And Shively will retain the ball, but not where she wanted to, as she tries to make an inside move over to Delaney Earl. But the ball is now Capital. Capital going up against Emily Gans. And she'll zoom by. It appears as looks like that's correct. Looks like that was Jade Hoffman who just zoomed by Emily Gans and passed it off to Carly Murray on the far side of the field, but it'll roll out of bounds for a goal kick by Otterbein. So good move on the far side of the field by Capital, keeping the ball away from Otterbein and making their way downfield. But again, missed opportunity there. Just have to recover, come back for it next time as Otterbein sets off for the goal kick and they launch it off. And it's recovered by the Cards. As they started playing keep away right now with the Capital Crusaders, but the Crusaders take it back. Anyways, as Casey King dribbles around Priscilla Severance, she goes up against Sydney Young. And looks like she'll try to kick it off to Jordan Fike, but it'll get kicked out of bounds and be Capital ball. Bridget Mallon will be tossing it back in here. Now with the ball is Fike. Fike gets picked off, however, by Cassidy Nickel. And it'll be Capital ball again here as it launched off the foot of Nickel, and Casey King will toss it in. King tossing it in. Looks like it'll be picked off here by Otterbein. Otterbein with the ball. Correction. It'll be volleyed back and forth between Otterbein and Cap, and Cap will retain as Mallon tries to launch it inside there, and it's saved by Gordon. Gordon, great save by there from an open shot by Bridget Mallon. Now, Otterbein on the far side of the field. Delaney Earl making her way downtown. Delaney Earl making her way down. Delaney Earl on the far side going up against a Capital defender. Intended for Shively. Pass was intended for Shively. It was intended for Shively, but looks like it was just sort of a miscommunication there as it fell outside of her range. And now with the ball is Capital. Capital with the ball. And good sweeping kick. I guess it's not correct to say a good sweeping kick there, but a sweeping kick up against Mosca to retain the ball for Cap as Cap is making their way downfield again here against Otterbein. And Otterbein quickly will pick it off and try to play a little bit of keep away as Cap and Otterbein volley it back and forth. It'll be launched off the foot of Cap, and it'll be a goal kick for Otterbein. Kicking it off here for the Cards will be Haley Guerra instead of the goal keep, Aaron Gordon. Guerra lining up here. And again, a lot of good moves there being made by Earl and Shively. So far about halfway through this game, they're trying to do as much as they can to get that first goal and sort of do what they can to shut out Cap. And it looks like a foul will be called here as King and Severance both get knocked down to the floor, but it'll be called against Severance. It'll be kicked off here by Cap as it'll be their ball. It'll be kicked off here by Bridget Mallon. Questionable call there, I would say. It could have gone either way. And Coach Coons is still a little bit confused about that call. Kicking away will be Mallon. Mallon almost taking a direct shot there against Gordon, but it'll be picked up there by, it appears to be Jordan Fike. Fike trying to kick it off of Cassidy Nickel. And Fike will kick it out of bounds. It'll be Otterbein. Ball tossed in by Severance. Now with the ball after a little bit of volleying there will be Capital. Capital with the ball. Fike trying to make an inside move, and she will. Fike, however, gets Fike try to kick it inside there to, I believe, Carly Murray, and Murray gets picked off there on the far side by Aaron Gordon. So good save again by Gordon. Now with the ball is Capital after a good goal kick there by Aaron Gordon. Rotolo hustling after the ball, trying to keep it in bounds, and she will. However, it'll be retained by Otterbein on the far side of the field by Haley Hott. Haley Hott kicking it downfield, trying to kick it over to Emily Gans, but the ball soars out of bounds. It'll be Capital ball. Capital tossing it back in, recovered by Otterbein. And a little bit of a volley back and forth here between the Crusaders and the Cards. And looks like Capital's going to retain the ball here. However, the ball will fall out of bounds as soon as they get it. And it'll still be Capital ball as it looks like she ricocheted off the shin of a Card. Now the ball is Capital. Capital doing some good passing here, just communicating between their players, just finding an open woman. Now it looks like Mallon's going to have the ball coming up against Mosca. Mosca recovers the ball, passing it off to Shively. Shively, however, gets picked off almost immediately there by Jade Hoffman and Bridget Mallon. So good move there by Capital, just playing really, really good defense, what they've been known for all throughout the season, not allowing many goals per game, only allowing about a goal, a little over a goal per game. And Garris kicked it out of bounds there, so it'll be Capital ball. And it'll be kicked far downfield by Otterbein, as Capital looks like they're going to recover on their far side. And almost stolen there by Otterbein. Great move there by Otterbein, trying to steal the ball there. Now with the ball, devolving back and forth will be Otterbein. Otterbein, however, the ball will hit off the hip of Priscilla Severance after a pass by Annie Mosca. It'll be Capital ball, tossed in by Malin. With the ball, Fike gets picked off by Severance. Severance, however, kicks it out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be Capital ball here one more time. Here we go, ball handed off to Malin. Malin tossing it back inside. Recovering the ball. Well, it looks like it was going to be Dion, but Dion's going to get tripped up there. Correction, it was not Dion, it was Rotolo, and Rotolo's going to get tripped up there. And it'll be a penalty, it'll be a kick here off of a foul for Capital. With the ball kicking off will be Malin. Malin setting up the kick right now. Gordon moving back and forth, bouncing up and down, getting ready to receive this kick. Here it comes, hits off the side of the net, and it'll be a goal kick for Otterbein. And setting up the kick for this one, again, Haley Guerra. Guerra, a Canton, Ohio native, junior. Guerra setting up here for the kick. Here we go. And setting, looks like Otterbein's going to retain here as Gans has the ball. Gans trying to pass it inside here to Shively, and she will. Shively recovers after a sort of, Carly Murray was coming screaming down the sideline. She passes it off to Severance. Severance trying to pass it off to Gans, and it'll roll out of the reach of Emily Gans again. A lot of sort of missed passes here and missed opportunities for the Cards to get downfield and get an open shot here on Kelly Bachman, something they haven't been able to do a lot so far this game, only taking about 2 shots total throughout the half. As Capital recovers the ball off of an out of bounds, tossed in by Malin, will be a little bit close head-to-head contact there between Severance and King. The ball's Nickel. Nickel trying to pass it inside. Nickel gets tripped up, however. Looks like she's going to get tripped up over there by Olivia Rotolo. And Rotolo ball comes off her foot, and it'll be Otterbein ball. It'll be tossed in here by number 21, Haley Guerra. We'll have a few substitutions in for the game right now. We have number 11, Maya Kelly, number 27, Annie Howell coming into the game for the Cards. Kelly, a great distributor of the ball. Kelly really knows how to find her open woman and get some open looks. Kelly also has 6 goals, I believe, this season. Now, looks like there's going to be there might be a possible yellow card here being called, and there will be yellow card on Haley Guerra after it looked like a little bit of a unnecessary roughness there between her and a Capital defender. Looked like it might have been Jade Hoffman. And an interesting turn of events there for the Cards. Yeah, yellow card there on Haley Guerra. So now it'll be kicked away there by Cap. And Otterbein looks like they're going to recover it. Covered by Shively. Shively going to kick it off to Kelly. Kelly gets picked off by King. King kicks it off to, I believe, Malin. Malin kicks it off of Kelly, and it'll be a Capital ball. Now with the ball is Otterbein after the recovery there. Malin heads it away, chested off by Shively. Shively trying to kick it off to the far sideline. It'll be recovered there by Cap, as Cap, again, trying to pass it back over to their defenders, get it back over to their facilitators, and find their way around this Otterbein defense, as Fike passing it off to Rotolo. Rotolo Kicking around here, trying to pass Cassidy Nickel. Nickel playing very stingy defense so far. Passing it off to Dion will be Rotolo. Dion trying to pass it back over to Fike, and she'll get picked off by a horde of white unis. Now with the ball is Gans. Gans knocks into, I believe, it looks like she knocked into Alyssa Kimler there. And again, one thing you need to watch out for with Emily Gans, she is wearing the face mask for her broken nose, and she was a little bit sensitive there to get up. Might have been a little bit of face contact there. Tossing it in will be Guerra off and out of bounds by Cap. Again, Capital kicking it out of bounds by Rotolo. Now, Haley Guerra will be tossing it in once more. And looks like it's going to try to be recovered there by Shively as it'll get sort of licked off of a Capital defender. It'll be Otterbein ball. A little bit interesting call there. I thought might have knocked off the shin of Shively. And it looks like the ball's going to knock off the shin there. Well, it was a play between Annie Howell and her defender, but it looked like it might have gotten off of Howell, but I guess they're going to call on the defender there. And it'll be Otterbein ball. Now with the ball is Capital. Capital with the ball. Capital trying to make their way downfield. Jordan Fike showing off the Jets once more, coming up against Cassidy Nickel. Nickel going step for step almost, but Fike finds a way to get around her, and she'll try to kick it off there to Olivia Rotolo, and she'll get picked off by the Otterbein defense. Now, Kelly with the ball on the 30-yard line on the near side of Otterbein's football field. Now, with the ball is Kelly. Kelly kicking it off to the far side, intended for Shively. Ball's going to fall way out of bounds, and it looks like it's going to be Otterbein ball here as it came off the shin of Bridget Mallon. And now checking in for the Cards, the star of the show last week, number 2, Holly Bernhold. Bernhold with a 40-yard goal last week. Funny story here, the team tried to get it played on ESPN for the SC Top 10 there, for the Sports Center Top 10 plays there. But I don't know if it made it or not, but it was a good, honest attempt, and what an attempt it was last week. Apparently she said she intended for it to be a goal there. There was no ifs, ands, ors, or buts about it for Holly Bernhold. Now with the ball's Otterbein after tossing it back in. Shively trying to kick it inside, gets blocked by a defender. With the ball on the far side is Haley Hott. Haley Hott kicking around here, tripping up a few defenders. With the ball is Howell. Howell gets bodied up there by a Capital defender, and it'll be sort of volleyed up in the air here. We don't really know who's got possession right now, as they're sort of fighting for it right now, as it's sort of being kicked back and forth as Capital looks to have recovered it. And they haven't. It'll be sort of lied back and forth again as Capital, again, looks to have recovered it. And they will have, as it'll be Capital ball here. Hoffman passing it over to the near side to Casey King. King dribbling around here. King trying to kick it off of Bernhold as King tried to pass it inside of Fike. Fike, however, tries to kick it back over to the far sideline. And it'll be Otterbein ball. Otterbein with the ball. Otterbein making their way down. The Cards. Looks like Sydney Young. Sydney Young trying to kick it inside of Kelly. However, the kick will be blocked off by Capital. It'll be Cap ball here. Crusaders setting up a play. Here they come. Casey King looks like the ball is going to bounce right out of her reach. The ball was just about a foot away from her. And it took a big high bounce. It'll be Otterbein ball off of that. Bernhold tossing it back in. With the ball, it's Capital off the toss in. Cap setting up a couple plays here. Shively trying to get the ball back. Here we go. Casey King. King kicking it inside to Hoffman. Hoffman over to Fike. Fike kicking it inside. Fike finds an open woman in Murray. Ooh. And it looks like a stoppage here is going to be called. And we're going to see what's going to happen. Looks like it might have been an offsides call there on the Crusaders. And it will be. And it'll be kicked off here by Cassidy Nickel. And she'll kick it away. And it'll be recovered here by Cap as Jordan Fike again making her way downfield, trying to kick it inside there to Murray. She'll get picked off. And the foul is going to be called there on Cap. With the ball is Otterbein. Shively kicking it away, kicking it off to Haley Hott. Haley Hott kicking it over to the far sideline, over to Delaney Earl. With the ball's Earl. Earl dribbling around. Earl trying to kick it over. It looks like it might have been intended for either Gans or Howell, but the ball gets picked up by the Crusaders, and Bachman launches it long range over there, kicking it over to near. It looked like it landed on the 35-yard line of Otterbein, all the way from the goal line of the far end zone. So high, long kick there for Kelly Bachman, as both teams are making a couple substitutions in, as X-line here for Otterbein will be, Katie X-line will be subbing in here, and a couple subs coming in for Capital as well. And Otterbein will set it off here. As Otterbein gets ready, and Otterbein is picks up the ball here. Otterbein making their way downtown. Here comes, looks like the pass was intended there from Maya Kelly off the kick from Bella Shively. Will be picked off by Capital. Capital with the ball. Capital making their way down. Capital finding an open woman. 2-on-1 right here. Here comes Cap. Try to kick it off to Fike. Fike with the Jets. Looks like it'll be out of her range and be a goal kick for Otterbein. Now setting up for the goal kick will be Gordon waiting for her player to come in. Looks like Haley Hott's going to kick it off this time instead of Guerra, as Hott kicks it downfield, and it's a long one again, about a 45-yard kick there, as Otterbein trying to pry it away from Capital, and they won't, as Capital is coming downfield. Here they come. Here comes Carly Murray. Murray gets picked off by Otterbein, and it'll be a foul here once more. So it looks like it's going to be a foul on Otterbein, as Bridget Mallon is going to kick off there from the numbers on the far 30-yard line numbers there. Interesting sort of turn of events there, as Otterbein looked to have gotten the ball back, but to no avail. So it'll be a penalty kick here for Otterbein. For Capital. Kicking off will be Mallon. However, it's saved by Gordon almost immediately. Good save there by Aaron Gordon. And subbing, quick cut in here. A quick substitution here. Capital subs in Kaylee Stanisovska for Hillary Counts. And Otterbein subs in Katie X-line for Emily Gans. Now in comes here. Here we come. Here's a balls in play here on the far side, moving to the near side. Looks like Fike tried to pass it off to around midfield, but will get picked off by Otterbein. Otterbein sort of volleying back and forth between Cap. Shively with the ball. Shively dribbling around. Looks like she's going to try to dribble around Jade Hoffman. She will. She'll try to kick it off to the far side, and she will. It'll get picked off, however, by Capital. It looks like the pass was intended for X-line, as X-line tried to sort of kick it downfield, and she got picked off by the Capital defense. Great play by Capital. Now setting up for the kick will be Cap. Cap kicking it away. Covered by Otterbein. And be kicked away by, looks like Hoffman. Hoffman trying to kick it off to, looks like Stanisovska, and it'll fall there into Stanisovska. It'll be tossed in by Holly Bernhold. Bernhold tossing it in, passing it over to Howell. Howell with the ball. Annie Howell gets tripped up over on the white of the sideline there, and it'll be Otterbein ball off of that. So it'll be kicked in here by Bernhold. Bernhold again. She has a leg. 40-yard goal against Capital last week. Bernhold setting up. Here it comes. Good line drive there. Looks like it was intended for Delaney Earl, and it was, and she got it. And Otterbein, again, Earl trying to kick it inside. Looks like Earl tried to kick it inside to Shively. Sort of got kicked back over somehow to Sydney Young. Young tried to take an open shot, but it soared out of bounds off the left crossbar. So it'll be Capital ball off the goal kick, and another substitution being made for the Cards, as Shively gets subbed out.
Checking in for the Cardinals, number 18, Haley Hotchkiss.
And subbing in for her will be number 18, Haley Hotchkiss. Hotchkiss is a senior this year on the Otterbein Cardinal team, and she has made a plethora of starts throughout her career. Now, it looks like Casey King got tripped up there, and looking for a call was the crowd there for Capital, but no call made, but the ball falls out of bounds anyway, and it'll be cap ball off of a toss-in. And here we go. Casey King with the ball, kicking it back over to Malin. Malin gets picked off there by Kelly. Good play by Maya Kelly, as it was passes intended for Hotchkiss. Hotchkiss is picked off by Hoffman. With the ball's cap. Casey King with the ball. King setting up. Far pass gets picked off by the defense again. Hotchkiss with the ball. Hotchkiss kicking over to Kelly. Kelly back over to Sydney Young. Young kicking over to Delaney Earl. Earl trying to kick over to the far sideline there to Katie Exline. Exline, however, will not get the ball as the ball gets kicked out of bounds by the Capital defense. Looks like it might have been kicked out of bounds there by Kimbler. As now tossing it in will be will be Katie Exline. Correction, it'll be out of bounds again. And Hotchkiss will toss in the ball. And a little bit of confusion there going on around the far corner as the ball's going to roll out of bounds there and be Capital ball off of a goal kick. With the ball is Bridget Mallon. Mallon with the ball, kicking it downfield. Here she comes. It's picked off, however, by the Otterbein defense. Here comes here comes Otterbein as Lainey Earl comes screaming down, trying to pick it off the Capital defender, but she's just a bit too late as they kick it back to Bachman, and Bachman launches it back down to around the 50-yard line. With the ball is Otterbein after a couple volleys. Bernhold trying to pass it over to Young. Young trips over her feet, however, and it's recovered by Capital. With the ball is the Crusaders. Capital, far sideline, Casey King. King, been a name we've been calling all day today. King on the near side, kicking it over to midfield. Trying to find an open woman, trying to find Stanislavska. She did it. And Stanislavska, looks like the ball ended up getting kicked over to Fike. Fike tried to take a shot from the outside, and it rolled out of bounds. So it'll be a goal kick here for Otterbein. Again, no goals have been scored yet so far throughout this game. We're about 7 minutes left in the first period. Great defense being played all around by both teams. This is something we've been looking for all game. Here come the Cards. Goal kick by Otterbein. Ball will be recovered by Capital, however, as Capital's trying to dribble around here. Here they come. With the ball is Casey King. King trying to find an open woman, and she will. And Stanislavska. Stanislavska trying to kick it over to Dion. And Dion will not get the ball as it'll roll to the feet of Aaron Gordon. Gordon with the ball. Looks like she might just toss it in here. And correction, she's just going to punt it away here. Good high punt by Gordon. Good bounce as Capital looks like they're going to recover here. And correction, Maya Kelly picking it off on the near side up against Casey King. Here she comes, trying to kick it off downfield. Looks like the pass may have been intended for Haley Hotchkiss, or looks like it might have been Haley Hotchkiss or Delaney Earl downfield, but it just soared over their heads and is recovered by Capital almost immediately. With the ball is Capital. Capital on the far side, looking for an open woman. Here they come. Malin with the ball on the near side. Malin. She's going to pass it off around midfield. Intended for Stanislavska. Falls out of her reach. Looks like it might have picked off by X-Line, but it's picked up by Fike instead. Fike tried to kick it off. She was around the far sideline there, but the ball just kind of rolled out of bounds there on the far sideline. And it'll be Otterbein ball off of a goal kick once more. About 5.5 minutes left in the first period. In the first half. Here come the Cards. Goal kick. Here we go. Here come the Cards. Howell trying to pass it over. And she will. Looks like on the far sideline there will be Delaney Earl. Earl, one-on-one against Kimbler. Earl trying to kick it inside to Hotchkiss, and she will. Hotchkiss launching it off a defender. Looks like it was Dion. Hotchkiss. It's picked off. Dion kicks it over to the far sideline, over to, I believe, Malin. Fike, and Fike will kick it out of bounds. It'll be Otterbein ball. With the ball is was Otterbein. And a whistle being blown here, blowing the play dead. And it looks like it's going to be a foul on Otterbein. It'll be capital ball off of a kickoff. Here come the Crusaders. Capital kicking it away here, kicking it over to the near sideline. Across the field kick. Here comes Mallon. Mallon with the ball. Mallon kicking it downfield. Looks like the pass was intended there, and it was intended for Stanislavska, and Stanislavska almost had a play there, but the whistle will blow the play dead, as it looks like it was going to be a foul on Capital. So it'll be Otterbein ball off of a foul. Yes, that's correct. Offsides against Capital, so it'll be Otterbein ball off the offsides. With the ball is Otterbein. Burnhold kicking it downfield. Looks like the pass was intended for Hotchkiss. Covered by Mallon. Mallon with the ball. Mallon kicking over to the near side. Looked like the pass was intended there for another Crusader. As the ball gets recovered by Cap. Cap with the ball. Yep, ball looked like it was intended for Petticord. Petticord tried to kick it back inside, but it just falls out of her range, and it'll be Otterbein ball. Recovering the ball, however, will be Capital as Mallon kicks it over to Kimbler. Kimbler back over, and it'll be Otterbein ball. Here we go. X-line. Passing it inside to Earl. Earl gets almost manhandled there on near the 25 far side of the field, near the 25-yard line. Now is Capital with the ball. Fike showing off the Jets once more. Fike, she's got handles for a fast one. And the ball is just going to get kicked out of her feet. But recovered by Capital, but recovered by Stanislavska. Stanislavska gets the ball swept out from her as well. Great defensive stops here by Great defensive stops here, correction, by Otterbein. Good play by Cassidy Nickel to keep the ball out of Capital's feet and just take it straight out of bounds. With the ball is Capital. Capital with the ball. And it looks like a little bit of a volley back, and looks like it was going to be a bit of a volley there. But a little bit of a rumble-tumble between a couple Otterbein defenders and Capital. Looks like it might be a foul there on Capital. It will be kicked off here by Otterbein. Yep, foul on Capital. Launching the ball is Otterbein. With the ball. Capital currently with the ball. Trying to get around an Otterbein defender. Here comes Cap. Capital kicking downfield. Recovered by Burnhold. Burnhold trying to kick it off to Kelly. Ball, however, is out of her range. Will be recovered by Murray. Correction by Hoffman. The ball on the far sideline is Capital. And a whistle being blown there as some physicality being displayed there by Katie Exxon. Looks like there might be a yellow card here, and there will be another yellow card here for the Cards. Not what you want to see from this team. Not a lot of disciplined play going on right now, as Capital has been winning this matchup so far throughout the game as far as penalties go. As far as, as far as fouls and penalties go. Otterbein with 8 so far throughout the game, and Cap with 5. Now setting up for the penalty kick will be Capital. With the ball of the Crusaders. Crusaders on the far side, setting up for the kick. Here they come. They're getting lined up here, taking their time, waiting for the whistle to call, and here they come, and ball falls behind the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for Otterbein. And looks like it'll be kicked off here by Haley Hott. Now coming into the game will be number 32, senior Emma Hausler. Hausler out of Cleves, Ohio. Not Cleveland, Cleves, Ohio.
Checking in for the Cardinals, number 32, Emma Hausler.
Now with the ball is Otterbein after they kick it off. Here they come. Hausler with the ball. Correction, Otterbein, Capital with the ball here as they try to dribble around here, and Hoffman has the ball on the near sideline. Kicking it back over to Mallon. Mallon with the ball, coming up against Kelly. Now he's tossing it over to King on the near sideline. King coming up against Young, and she'll get picked off here, but it's recovered by Hoffman. Now Hoffman trying to kick it back over. Haley Hotchkiss. Correction, not Haley Hotchkiss. Haley Hott kicked it out. Back out. Now with the ball is Capital after a couple of volleys there. Petticord with the ball. Petticord gets picked off by two Otterbein defenders, but the ball runs right out of bounds. And it'll be Capital ball here on the near side by the Otterbein bench. Here comes Casey King. King with the ball. King gets headed off by Bernhold. Now the ball's looks like it's going to be volleyed back and forth between Otterbein and Capital. Kelly looks like she's going to recover the ball. It'll be Capital ball on the near sideline. Recovered, will be tossed in by King. Casey King tossing it inside. Intended for Rotolo. With the ball is Otterbein. Kelly trying to make an inside move there with only less than 10 seconds left in the game so far. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and here we go. And what an interesting way to start this OAC matchup between these two crosstown rivals here in Westerville, Ohio, as Otterbein and Capital so far are 0-0 in one half of regulation play in the OAC tournament. Now again, stops made so far by both Otterbein and Capital. Otterbein not taking as many shots as Capital has, as Otterbein taking 4 shots to Capital 7. Capital 3 shots on goal to Otterbein's none. Very surprising for the Cards, as they had a plethora last game, as now it's starting to rain here in Westerville, Ohio. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, rain is just coming down on Memorial Stadium. And this will be an interesting factor to discuss coming into the next half here. And again, a couple more stats before we sign off. Capital with 2 offsides. Otterbein with 8 fouls and 2 yellow cards. So again, interesting setup so far this game. Now I'll come back to you guys at the beginning of the second half. Score is nothing. Score is 0-0 here in Westerville, Ohio, as the number 1 seed and OAC regular season champion Otterbein Cardinals are taking on the 4 seed Capital Crusaders.
The professors here at Otterbein have been very important to me since I came. It's been one of the reasons why I actually came to Otterbein. And since I've met a lot of these professors and I've dealt with them one-on-one, they've really helped me inside and outside of the classroom. What can we do to accelerate you past just a diploma to really be important in the workforce and be an asset to a company in the future? And also, at the same time, develop your personal skills and develop you as a person.
So the internships I've had, freshman year I was a virtual intern for a company called Social Media, delivered in Dallas, Texas. And sophomore year I was a virtual intern for a company called Entice Online in New York. Junior year I was an intern in Columbus, Ohio for a nonprofit called One Girl. And then most recently I was an intern in Los Angeles for a company called Fullscreen.
I've been with Nationwide 16 years. We recruit Otterbein students because of the talent that the university brings here. They're nice people. They're technically savvy. They're also continuous learners. Having that desire to always be a learner is important to us. And I guess one other trait that I find important is good communication skills. The diversity of thought that's brought to the programs, the challenge that the students get, and for us it's just the energy level and enthusiasm that the students brought that made us really look seriously at bringing them on board and ultimately have them become a full-time associate.
So I was very fortunate to get an internship with a company called Exos, and they were contracted by Google. So my job was to come to Google, and I would run gyms, and then when I wasn't doing that, the other 4 hours of the day, I would be working on health promotion programs. Otterbein did a really great job preparing me for this internship because I knew how to program for all that. I had classes and curriculum that I knew exactly what to pull from. I just felt completely prepared for all the questions I had. It was really cool.
Coming into Otterbein, freshman year was an engineering student. I applied to a couple internships. I got a call back from not only Honda, but Nestle, another company called Lakeshore, and I was able to set up interviews. Was very blessed because just being a freshman and not even having all that experience, just that alone, we got told was just an outstanding achievement. Even if you didn't get the job, just having that opportunity, and just blessed enough to actually land the job. So I got to, just from walking into Otterbein, have that opportunity to not only be a student, but also already be in contention for something bigger.
I think a lot of the experiences that I've had will make me stand out, especially because A lot of the people that I've talked to, they don't have 3 to 4 internships like we come out with. They don't have research experience with a professor and a group of students. They don't have the opportunity to be published like we do. And especially being able to go and present at the National Zoo Conference that I was able to do is something that most people don't have on their resume until much later in life. So I think that is something that is definitely going to make me stand out and be competitive.
I don't know of anything in this region that is like this.
This is the point, the exact location where education, industry, business research, and government are meeting. Not only is the point changing how students learn, it has the potential to distinguish this university and its long-standing partner, the city of Westerville. It also stands to serve as one of the most innovative and unique assets in the entrepreneurial ecosystem of Central Ohio.
There are a lot of innovation centers across the United States, either linked to universities or just independent. What we believe is really unique about this facility is that we've brought the community in, we've brought businesses in as tenants, and we've brought our academic programs all together, collaborating in one facility. And it's not necessarily entrepreneurship based or student startup based or student directed based. It's really about the collaboration and the partnership and the great things that we can create and develop with those partners all together working in the same facility.
This has been a dream come true for us to be able to have a place to go where we have the capability, we have the facility and the equipment to do what we need to do to create solutions.
It will allow us to have an environment in which our engineering students here at Otterbein will work alongside of practicing engineers on projects for the companies who are resident in the center and with our industrial collaborators who bring projects to the center.
The work that is happening here will give students, corporations, businesses, and community partners new perspectives about how things can and should work. It will be a model example of all that collaboration can produce. The point is what happens when you have the right partners in the right position at the right time.
The vision and the execution is significantly bolder than what I frankly first understood and imagined. And as you know, coming in and seeing it for the first time, and then also being a resident here over the last several months, there's just a significant energy in this facility and in this at the point that gets me really excited. I think it's actually going to be one of the biggest things to happen, if you will, from a maker perspective, so in the hardware development here in Central Ohio.
At the point, we are integrating and applying classroom learning as students engage in industry projects from prototype development to capstone experiences to internships, working side by side with industry professionals. They will come to understand the process of moving idea generation and product design to the marketplace.
We've done as much as we can from an applied learning perspective. We're integrating design thinking and problem-based learning into all of our programs that are here, and really being able to offer the students an opportunity to go from the classroom into the lab, and then perhaps even then going one step further and going into a business partner to work in the afternoon. I think that gives our students this opportunity that you wouldn't get anywhere else.
What I really like about the program is the fact that they're integrating not only the theoretical work, but also the ability for the students to apply that theoretical knowledge in the labs. They seem to be able to complete projects, articulate those projects to an audience and explain how they came about, their logic, and demonstrate the designs and the different concepts that they put together.
This building has become physically transformed. But so has our partnership, so has education for the future. This is just going to be, I think, the best thing ever, and I'm so excited to see this as it progresses.
Just as Towers Hall has served as the iconic facility defining our past, the Point will serve as the physical manifestation of Otterbein's future. The future calls for experienced problem solvers and bold mindsets. The point is where these leaders will learn differently. This is how higher education works in the 21st century at Otterbein.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, coming back to you live from Westerville, Ohio. My name is Sam Mohammed here, and we have some OAC tourney matchup between the between the Otterbein University Lady Cardinals of the women's soccer team against their rivals in Capital from Bexley, Ohio. It was raining pretty. It came on pretty sort of strong there on the end. We had a little bit of rain coming at the end of the first half, but it has since ceased. But there are still some visible puddles all around the track, and there's still a little bit of wetness you can see on the turf itself. Quick recap for you guys here. A couple halftime stats. The score is currently 0-0 between the two. Capital's the 4th-ranked seed in the tourney compared to Otterbein. Otterbein is the number 1 overall seed in the OAC regular season champions. Capital is currently leading the way in most positives in most statistical categories in all positive ways. Capital leading the way in shots 7-4, shots on goal 3-0. Capital has not had to make any saves so far this game. They have not had any need to make any corners so far this game. They have had 2 offsides calls, which is not so much of a positive, and 5 fouls. Otterbein, 4 shots so far this game, 0 shots on goal. Goalkeeper Aaron Gordon has made 3 saves so far this game. 1 corner kick has been attempted by the Cards, 0 offsides calls, and 8 fouls, including 2 yellow cards against the Cards. One coming against Haley Guerra in the early stages of the game, and another coming against Katie Exline later in the game. So far, this has been a very, very, very stingy defensive matchup between the two teams. Otterbein and Capital both playing very, very great defense so far throughout this game. It's kind of like this last week, very, very low scoring up until the end, where Otterbein put up a goal in the 81st minute to tie the game, and a goal after a PK in overtime. And now kicking off for the second half of the game will be Capital, as Dion recovers the ball. Now with the ball is Capital on the far side. Capital with the ball. Looks like we're going to have the starting lineups from the first half coming out again. Capital in their gray uniforms with white numbers and accents and purple trim. Otterbein, white uniforms with white bottoms and red numbers. It is currently 8:07 p.m. here in Otterbein, and the temperature has taken a bit of a drop so far. It is currently somewhere in the 40s. It was currently about 49, 50 degrees right now here in Westerville. With the ball is Aaron Gordon off of a pickup. Now, Casey King trying to go after the ball. Will be picked up, however, looks like it's going to be picked up by Petticord. Petticord looking for a call, but the call is going to be an out of bounds on Otterbein. Kicking it over. Correction, it might be a penalty. No, yep, it'll be tossed in here by the Crusaders. With the ball is Otterbein off of a long pass there by the Crusaders. With the ball on the far sideline, looks like it was Cassidy Nickel, and Nickel will get a foul called here. It'll be a foul on Capital, and it'll be Otterbein ball. So a good positive foul there for Otterbein being able to retain the ball. Capital's 6th foul of the game. With the ball, after a long kick will be no one. It'll be a goal kick there for Capital, as the ball was rolled right out of bounds there by the attempt there by Otterbein. In correction, that is not Cassidy Nickel over there. It looks like it might be Holly Bernhold, and it is Bernhold. With the ball is Capital. Capital trying to dribble around here. Be picked up by Otterbein. Kicked away by Haley Hott. With the ball now is Capital. Capital on the far sideline. With the ball is Malin. Malin kicking around there, and it'll be picked up there on the near side by Capital. With the ball is Hoffman. Correction, that is Fike. Fike with the ball. Fike gets picked off by Otterbein, and it'll be recovered in bounds there by Bella Shively. Shively kicking it off to the inside there to Sydney Young. Young kicking it back over. Looks like the pass was intended for Severance, and she will get it. Severance with the ball. Severance has been a name we started calling earlier on in the matchup, but again, she takes another tumble. Severance taking a couple hard shots early on in the game by Casey King, but no fouls were called on those shots. With the ball is looks like Otterbein had the ball, but the ball's gonna roll out of bounds there and be Capital ball. Capital setting up for the toss-in. Here they come. Here come the Crusaders. Crusaders tossing it back inside. It'll be recovered. It'll be volleyed a little bit there. In the end, recovered by Capital. Capital on the far sideline. Looks like it's Hoffman. Hoffman try to kick it back over to Casey King, and the ball will roll out of bounds and be Otterbein ball on the far sideline. Otterbein tossing it back in play. With the ball's Bernhold. Bernhold try to kick it away. Gets picked off by King. King kicks it out of bounds. It'll be Otterbein ball. With the ball, there are the Crusaders. Looks like that was Severance. It was Severance. As now Otterbein has recovered the ball. And with the ball is Gans. Gans takes a big shot downfield and it's recovered by Bachman. One of Otterbein's first shots on goal so far this game. With the ball is Capital. And Otterbein recovers off of a good defensive play. Now, looked like Sydney Young trying to kick it downfield over to Annie Mosca. It'll be recovered by Cap. With the ball now is Shively. Shively gets picked off, however, by the Capital defense. Looks like she got picked off there by Jade Hoffman on the near side. Now with the ball is going to now tossing it in off the foot of Hoffman will be Haley Hott. And again, kicked out of bounds by Capital, recovered by Otterbein. Hott tossing it back in. Recovered by Gans. Emily Gans should keep it in bounds, and it'll just roll outside and become a goal kick for Capital. Gans tried to make it inside, tried to make a sliding move there to keep it in bounds, but it just rolled out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick. With the ball, Bachman. Bachman kicking it off to the far side there. And again, they have now switched field positions, so Capital moving right to left. With the ball is now Otterbein off of recovery. And that's going to be volleyed back and forth here. Here they come. Another quick volley there. A little bit of confusion there. It's recovered by Otterbein, and a little bit of a foot trip up there between Howell and Rotolo. With the ball, however, will be Otterbein. Recovering is Holly Bernhold. Correction. Yes, Bernhold. Correction. That was Nickel. Now Nickel kicking it off downfield far. With the ball is Capital. Capital keeping in bounds, keeping it in play. Capital with the ball. Malin trying to kick it downfield, and she will. Passing it off to the near midfield over to Murray. Murray gets a pass over to Hoffman. Murray back over to Rotolo. Rotolo back over to the near side to Fike. Fike gets picked off by Haley Hott, and the ball's going to roll out of bounds. And it looks like they're going to call a goal kick here for Otterbein. Could have gone 50-50 either way there. And Otterbein will kick it away, being kicked off there, I believe, by Haley Hott. Correction. Yes, Haley Hott. Now with the ball, it's Capital off for recovery. Dion working up against Howell. Howell will recover it and pass it back over to Gans. Gans passing it back over to Howell, and Gans will recover it as it got tripped up there. Now Shively with the ball. Shively, single season scoring record for Otterbein. Shively gets picked off there by Malin on the near side. With the ball now is Capital. Dion trying to make her way downfield. Trying to find an open woman, and she will. With the ball now, it appears to be Petticord. Petticord kicking it downfield. With the ball. Off the kick downfield will be... it looks like it's going to be volleyed back and forth here again. And a knockdown there by Capital. And it'll be a penalty there. It'll be a foul on Cap, so it'll be Otterbein ball. Ball will be kicked off into play by Cassidy Nickel. Now with the ball is Bernhold. Correction, Scans with the ball. Tossing it back in is Otterbein. Otterbein with the ball. Trying to kick it off to the nearest, to the inside. And they will. Ooh, knocked right off the face of a Capital defender there. Looks like it's knocked off the face of Mallon by the kick of Haley Hott. Haley Hott has a thumper of a leg as well. So that was a big-time shot. Haley Hott takes a bit of a trip down. And it looks like it's going to be a foul called on Capital. An Otterbein ball. Oh, correction. Foul will be called on Otterbein. It'll be Capital ball after they're going to call that on Haley Hott for tripping up against her Capital defender. Mallon kicking it off. Looks like we're going to have a couple of volleys here as Otterbein kicks it back around midfield, and Capital will recover it. With the ball is Capital on the far sideline. Otterbein will kick it away. Kick it out of bounds. Looks like it's going to roll out, and it will not, as it'll stay in bounds. Good recovery by Capital to keep it in bounds and keep the ball in play. Now with the ball after a couple of volleys. Looks like it's going to be volleyed one more time. It'll be recovered by Bachman. With the ball is Bachman. Bachman rolling it over to the near side, over to her defender, Bridget Mallon. Mallon. Looks like she's going to get closed in on by Shively. Mallon will kick the ball away, however, and it'll be Capital ball after the ricochet off of Otterbein. With the ball is Otterbein. This is going to be volleyed again, back and forth. With the ball, now Shively has the ball. Shively kicking it over. It looks like it was intended for Howell. It'll fall out of her range and recovered by Alyssa Kimbler. With the ball now, Kimbler passing it back over to Bachman. Bachman passing it over on the far side to her player. Looks like it was kicked over to Petticord. And Petticord will kick it out of bounds, and it'll be Otterbein ball. Otterbein looking for an open woman, and they will. As Otterbein tosses it downfield, looks like it was intended there for Mosca. And Mosca will get swallowed up there on the far sideline. It'll be recovered by Otterbein once more off of an out of bounds. Otterbein with the ball. Otterbein trying to kick it inside. It'll be recovered by Bachman. Bachman with the ball. Bachman punting it downfield. It's a long kick. Lands around after a couple of volleys. Lands around the 30, 20-yard line of Otterbein. Good kick by Gordon to keep it out of the play. Now Capital with the ball. Fike. Fike was going to set up for a kick. Thinks not. Decides to pass it. Mallon with the ball after a duo of passes. Now with Mallon with the ball trying to kick it over to Fike. It'll be recovered by Gans. Gans kicks it over to Shively. Shively trying to dribble around, and she won't. And she gets tripped up by Mallon, and the Mallon will kick it out of bounds, however, and it'll be Otterbein ball. Haley Hott waving for her players to come over to recover this kick. Here they come. Mosca heads it over. It's recovered by Mallon. Mallon, again, another couple of volleys here as the ball gets kicked out of bounds and recovered by Otterbein as Haley Hott throws it back inside. Recovered by Mosca. Mosca trying to kick it over to Emily Gans, and Gans will get pulled away, and it'll be, it looks like it might be a potential corner kick here for the Cards, maybe a toss-in. And it looks like they're going to have a toss-in here on the near sideline. And they will. Here comes Otterbein. Otterbein trying to kick it inside there. Annie Howell tried, but she got blocked off by a couple Capital defenders. Now with the ball is Otterbein. Katie Best kicking over to Cassidy Nickel. Nickel passing over to Bernhold. Bernhold with the ball. Kicking over to Young. Sydney Young with the ball. Number 12 kicking it over to Priscilla Severance. Severance on the far sideline working up against Casey King. Severance gets wrapped up by King. It's recovered by Capital. Capital with the ball off the kick out of bounds by Otterbein. Again, a lot of wrap-ups being done here between both sides. Otterbein, however, being called for it all. Otterbein with 2 yellow cards so far throughout this game. With the ball now is Otterbein. Gans with the ball. Gans looking for an open woman, and she will not find it in Bella Shively. Correction. Annie Mosca. Now with the ball. Looks like we're going to be volleyed back and forth again. Casey King passing it off to Carly Murray. With the ball. Now Sydney Dion. Dion gets picked off by Severance. Severance kicks it back downfield, and the ball will be recovered by Bachman. Bachman rolls it immediately to Bridget Mallon. Mallon with the ball now. Looks like she's going to work up against Gans again as the Otterbein defense closes in. She'll pass it inside there around the near side hash to Rotolo. Rotolo gets blocked by Howell. As the ball rolls back into the feet of Bachman. With the ball now is Capital. Capital kicking back over Dion. Trying to kick it over to Murray. Gets recovered by Otterbein. Otterbein with the ball. Annie Howe kicking it downfield to Haley Hott. Haley Hott trying to kick it inside to Shively. Gets picked off almost immediately. And she tries to recover the ball from Jade Hoffman. And the ball will not get recovered as it'll be Cap ball still. Casey King with the ball. Casey passing it off to the inside. Gets picked off by Otterbein. Otterbein with the ball. Otterbein making their way downfield. Here they come. And Jordan Fike with the ball. Jordan Fike of Capital trying to kick it downfield, and she will, but it'll be knocked off the head of Stanislavska. And now with the ball is Otterbein. Otterbein with the ball after the knockoff by Stanislavska. With the ball was Sydney Young. Young trying to kick it over to Emily Gans, but gets picked off by Fike. Fike gets picked off by Haley Hott. It'll be Capital ball. Capital setting up for the toss and be tossed in by Mallon. Headed away by Haley Hott and recovered by after a kick away. It looks like it's going to be recovered by Otterbein as Shively kicks it back over to Gans. Gans kicking it downfield intended for Annie Mosca. Mosca gets picked off by Alyssa Kimbler. And looks like Otterbein's going to set up here as Delaney Earl checks into the game for Annie Mosca.
Cardinals, number 28, Delaney Earl.
Earl, the freshman sensation. Haley Hott tossing it inside to Earl. And she'll fall down there. Looks like she got wrapped up there by Jordan Fike. It'll be Otterbein ball. Setting up for the kick will be Bella Shively. Shively, 15 goals on the season, single season record here for Otterbein University. We'll see what she does here. She sets up for an inside, if she sets up for a pass, or she just goes for the straight up shot. Here comes Shively waving up, setting up the kick. Here it comes, and it's recovered by Bachman. Bachman, good save again. Bachman, what we tried to call her all throughout last game, Kelly Blockman, has made a great effort so far this game in recovering those easy kicks. As she punts it long downfield as it almost lands around the 40-yard line of Otterbein. Recovered by Cap. And rushing over is Delaney Earl. Earl recovers the ball off of a botched kick. The ball is Otterbein now. And looks like Emily Gans is hurt on the field there, but she'll just get up there, and it'll be a no-show there as Kelly Bachman hits it out of bounds. And it looks like it's going to be a corner kick here for Otterbein as the ball knocked off the hands of Kelly Bachman out of bounds. And again, good move there by Otterbein trying to kick the ball out of the feet of Capital. Just try to kick it downfield as they made a couple nice moves there downfield. But Bachman made a good save off the corner. Now corner kick for Otterbein. Haley Hott. Missed kick there. With the ball now is Cap. With the ball now is Maggie Petticord. Petticord kicking it downfield. Ball's intended for Stanislavska. And Stanislavska does not recover as the ball is kicked out of bounds by Sydney Young. With the ball now is Capital. Ball will be tossed in by Jordan Fike. Fike, a name that we called all throughout last game and this game. Fike will toss it into Stanislavska. Stanislavska tried to kick it inside there. We recovered after a couple volleys by, looks like it might be Otterbein. And here it comes. Looks like it will be recovered by Otterbein. Haley Hott with the ball. Haley Hott trying to kick it away, but gets picked off by Fike. Fike trying to kick it inside to Bridget Mallon. And Mallon will kick it out of bounds. It'll be Otterbein ball as Severance tossing it back in. With the ball now is Earl. Earl. Looks like the ball's going to roll. Looks like the ball's going to roll out of bounds and be a corner kick here for Otterbein as it hits right off the foot of the Capital defender. Looks like it rolled off the foot of Maddie Petticord there on the far side, on the near side. As now Otterbein sets up for the corner kick. Will be attempted by Shively. Shively kicks it away. Recovered by Capital. And a lot of arguments being made here in the crowd, as the crowd was not happy about that call whatsoever. And now Sydney Young has the ball. Sydney passing it in. Shively off the pass. Hoffman. Haley Hott will toss it in. Hott tossing it inside. Will land inside the feet of Shively. The ball now is hit Billa Shively. Shively will let the ball roll out of bounds. And it looks like they might call a goal kick here, and they will. And what looked like might have been a possible corner kick opportunity there for the Cards will end up being a goal kick for Capital. What an interesting turn of events here. A lot of confusion, a lot of 50-50 calls being made here, a lot of calls that could have gone either way. That ball looks like it might have knocked off the foot of the Capital defender, but it might have knocked off the inside ankle of Shively after that pass. The ball now is Delaney Earl off the pass by Shively. Earl with the ball. Might pass inside. Looks like the pass might have been gone inside the Gans, but it'll roll out of bounds. And it'll be Otterbein ball still. But the ball now is Earl. Earl will toss it over, however, to Haley Hott, and Haley Hott will toss it back into the game. And the ball is in bounds. Here we go. And ball will roll out of bounds and be Capital ball. Now setting up the kick will be Bachman.
On the pitch for the Crusaders, number 7, Hillary Counts.
Now subbing back in for the Crusaders in for Casey King will be number 7, Hillary Counts. Counts played throughout most of the first half. And is now coming in for around the halfway mark of the second half. With the ball. Looked like Severance is going to have the ball, but she got tripped up almost immediately by Hillary Counts. And it looks like Counts gets the yellow card here. First yellow card of the game and of the half for Capital. First yellow card of the game on Hillary Counts on one of her first plays here from scrimmage. Now setting up for the kick. It looks like it'll be Cassidy Nickel. Nickel kicks it long and far and rolls right over the goalpost. What could have been an easy move inside for the Cards ends up being rolling off of that. It looks like it rolled off the head of a Capital defender, so it'll be Otterbein ball still off of for a corner kick. Corner kick going to be attempted by Bella Shively. Interesting turn of events there. What we thought could have been a goal kick there for Bachman ends up being a corner kick off the head of a defender. The ball's going to roll outside. A little bit of a mumbo jumbo there, but it'll be recovered there by Otterbein. As Bella Shively kicks it back inside. Shively picking it over off the crossbar and headed away by Bachman. Bachman again catches the ball. Wow, what a play by Bachman. And play will be blown dead there. And we'll see what's happening right here. As looks like the goalpost got offset there, so looks like the goalpost got moved. And the ref having a little bit of a word with Bachman, making sure that the goal stays in order, as he'll hand her back the ball. And that shot, that header off the crossbar was taken by Delaney Earl. So Delaney Earl getting a really good shot on goal there for the Cards. As Bachman kicks it back downfield. And it looks like it might have been a foul called there on Otterbein. And a long shot tried to be taken there from around the far 20-yard line number on the far sideline, but it'll just roll right outside of the goalpost, and it'll be a goal kick here for Otterbein as it's taken by Haley Hott. Haley Hott kicks downfield. Nice bounce there for Haley Hott as the ball rolls almost immediately towards the Capital far side. Now, after the kick away by Bachman, ball's on the far sideline. But the ball is Shively. Shively gets the ball stolen from her. It's recovered by Severance. Severance tries to kick it away again. It gets stolen from her. Now with the ball is Sydney Young. Young finding an open woman. Here we come. Here comes Haley Hott. Haley Hott picking it over inside to it looks like Delaney Earl. Delaney Earl's going to get, looks like Delaney Earl's looking for a call, and it looks like she might get it. Here we go. Earl does get the call. Looks like the call will be on. Looks like the call might be on Maggie Petticord there. Interesting turn of events there, as Otterbein setting up for a corner kick after the ball rolls out of bounds on that. But no call, no foul, no initial foul call, but a word is given to Petticord. Now, after the corner kick, Otterbein looks like Capital's going to recover on the far sideline as they're going to let it roll out of bounds. It'll be Otterbein ball. We have about 21 and a half minutes left in regulation. Ball's going to roll out of bounds here, off of the kick by Otterbein. Correction, off the kick by Capital here, as it looked like it might have came off the foot of an Otterbein offensive player, but it ends up coming off of the foot of a defender of Capital, and it'll be Otterbein ball on the far corner. Attempting to kick will be Shively. And Shively winds up, stops, looks for an open woman, doesn't like what she sees, sets it up again. Here it comes. Ball blocked off by Bachman. As Haley Hott sets up again, tries to passing it inside. And Haley Hott is down, but she will get back up. As Capital retains the ball, and Capital tries to make their way downfield. Here comes Stanislavska. Stanislavska tries to pass it downfield over to Rotolo. Rotolo will not get there in time as Gordon gets the ball. Takes the ball into her hands and sets up for an open pass, and she will pass it off to Sydney Young. Young passing it over to Delaney Earl. Delaney Earl with the ball, passing it inside to Emily Gans. Gans getting held up there by Alyssa Kindler, but no call being made. Kindler had her hands around Gans's arms to keep her from moving. As now Bachman sets up for another goal kick. With the ball now is Petticord. Petticord coming up here against Shively. Petticord will pass it off, however, to Stanislavska. Stanislavska over to Jade Hoffman. Jade Hoffman passing it over to Sydney Dion. Dion kicking it over to the far side, and she has room to run. It looks like it's going to be Carly Murray, and the ball will bounce out as the ball is well defended there by Otterbein. And we have two players down there on the field on the far side there, as we have an Otterbein player down and a Capital player down. And the play looks like the clock will be stopped here at the 19-minute, 34-second mark here, as both players are a little bit shaken there, a little bit slow to get up, but here they come. It looked like Rotolo got a little bit shaken up on that play, and so did Katie. Looks like it might have been Katie Best. And Katie Best will get up, and she will return to play after a little bit of a scare there, but nothing to really worry about so far. So now, looks like the ball will be kicked down here. Looks like it'll be given over to Capital. Now setting up is Capital. Capital takes a long kick. It'll be recovered by Otterbein. Crowd silenced almost a little bit, and here they come. Here comes Otterbein. Otterbein kicking it downfield, recovered by Gans. Gans kicks it headlong downfield. It'll be recovered by Petticord. Petticord kicking it back over. Recovered by Severance. Good move by Severance. Severance kicking over to the near side to Shively, kicking across the field, but it's recovered by Stanislavska. Hoffman. Hoffman kicking it back over to Petticord. That's covered by Otterbein. Otterbein inside. Otterbein trying to kick it inside shot, and it is kicked over to the near sideline. It'll roll out of bounds, and it'll be Otterbein ball. And Maya Kelly will be subbing into the game with about 18 minutes, 45 seconds left in the game and counting. She'll be subbing in for Emily Gans. Also subbing in will be Casey King. King will be subbing in for Stanislavska. Correction, there'll be 2 substitutions here for Capital. It'll be King and 1 more, and we'll get that to you as soon as we can. And goal for Otterbein! Long range goal again! Otterbein takes a long shot downfield. Soars over the hands of Bachman. 1-0 shot. And goal is scored by number 23, Bella Shively. That's Shively's 16th goal on the year. Great shot by Bella Shively. Shively kicking it away from around the 20-25 yard line of Capital, and just banks it in over the hands of Bachman. And it is a 1-0 game with not 18 minutes, 15 seconds and counting in the game. As now Capital's rushing, trying to get back downfield, trying to score a goal. They're starting to get frantic. Here comes Otterbein again. Otterbein, Shively with the ball. Shively kicking it down. Here they come. There's a little bit of confusion on that goal as well. That's why there was a little bit of a delay there. And looks like the ball's going to be kicked out of bounds here, and it'll be Otterbein ball. Looks like the ball's going to be tossed in here by Haley Hott. And a little bit of a whistle. A couple whistle calls being called here, letting the play go live. Here we go. Maya Kelly with the ball. Kelly bounced off her chest over her head. It'll be recovered by Otterbein, however, as Delaney Earl has the ball. Earl passing it inside. And it'll be kicked away by Capital. And it'll be a corner kick here for Otterbein on the near side. So Shively will have the ball once more. Shively with 1 goal already on the game. 16 goals on the year. Single season record and counting. 16 total goals. 15 in the regular season. 1 so far in the postseason, as it's their first matchup of the postseason. Otterbein with the ball. Otterbein again try to head it back in, but it'll roll right over the goalpost of the football field, and it'll be recovered here by Cap as Kelly Bachman sets up for a kick. It's about a little less than 17 minutes left in this first half. Excuse me, in regulation here. Otterbein leads 1-0 against Capital. OAC tournament play. Maya Kelly trying to kick it over to Shively. Shively gets cut off by, looks like Jade Hoffman. And the ball will roll out of bounds and be a goal kick here for Capital. Bachman running as fast as she can, getting the ball ready to kick it off and get it out to her open women so she can get a ball downfield and tie this game up so we can possibly go to overtime. Now with the ball is Otterbein. Otterbein recovers it. X-Line gets bumped. Correction, Katie Best gets bumped hard. And she's a little bit ginger off that, but it'll be, looks like we're going to have a foul call here on Otterbein. So it'll be Capital ball. Capital setting up here. Bridget Mallon kicking away. Here she comes. Here comes the ball. It's going to be headed away by Otterbein. Kelly with the ball. Kelly passing it over to Earl. Earl on the near sideline around the 30-yard line of Otterbein. Earl trying to kick it over to Kelly. Gets blocked off here by Petticord. Now Petticord kicking it off over. It's going to be recovered here by Haley Hott. Haley Hott kicking it over to Maya Kelly. Maya Kelly gets outrun, however, by Bridget Mallon. Mallon kicking it back over to Bachman. Bachman kicks it away and kicks it out of bounds. And it'll be Otterbein ball. With the ball now is Haley Hott. Haley Hott's going to prepare to throw this ball away. Here it comes. It's going to be recovered by Annie Howell, and the ball falls out of bounds anyways. But a little bit of a shove there might have been, possible shove there might have been called there on Carly Murray, but it will not be called. It will still be Otterbein ball, however, and Haley Hott has the ball. Haley Hott, however, throws it out of the range of all of her players, and it'll be Capital ball. Capital setting off to kick it off. Here comes Cap. Cap on their 20-yard line, and they still have it. Oh, ball rolls right by the feet of, looks like it rolled right by the feet there of Matt Petticord. Now with the ball is Otterbein. Shively around midfield. Shively kicking it over to the far side. Looks like she's going to kick it over to Bernhold. Bernhold kicks it back over to Earl. Earl on the near side. Kicking it back inside. It'll be recovered, however, by Bachman. And Bachman looks like she might kick this one away as well. Here it comes. Long kick as it lands right around the 30-yard line of Otterbein. Good bounce for Capital, as it looks like Jade Hoffman tried to kick it back downfield, but it's recovered by Otterbein's Haley Hott. Haley Hott kicking it over to Kelly. Kelly showing off her wheels a little bit, but it'll be kicked away and out of bounds by Capital. Looks like it was kicked away by Alyssa Kimler. Now with the ball is Otterbein. Otterbein tried to take another inside shot, Delaney Earl did, but it'll fall right into the hands of Bachman. Now with the ball is Otterbein. Otterbein trying to kick the way around town. Here comes Otterbein. They'll get kicked off over to the far sideline, as it looks like some good defense being played there by bench player Julia Jewitz. And it'll be Capital ball after a long kick by Bachman. Severance recovers the ball, however, but it'll still be recovered after a volley by Cap. The ball's Capital. Fike with the ball. Fike coming up against two defenders. Here she comes. Passing it away. Passing it back over to number 18, Julia. Now passing it back over to, it looks like she tried to pass it back over to Rotolo. Excuse me, to Dion, and Dion will get it kicked away from her. Now with the ball is Bridget Mallon. Mallon coming up against Kelly. Mallon tried to save the ball. A little roll out of bounds. Looks like they might try to call a foul there on Otterbein. And a long kick there for Cap as it falls around the Otterbein 10, but it'll be recovered. Ooh, long kick again. May we see another long-range goal? No, we will not, as Otterbein recovers it on the far sideline after a good block there by Gordon. Ball will roll out of bounds, however. And it looks like, again, that was number 18, Julia Jewitz. Julia Jewitz, who, again, played some very solid defense so far throughout this game. Not a name I've been calling a lot, but she's definitely been out there. As now Gordon has the ball. Gordon kicks it away. Long kick for Gordon. Lands around the 50-yard line. Now with the ball is Capital off the kick. Otterbein recovers the ball after a missed header. Here come the Cards. Tripped up will be Delaney Earl. Delaney Earl gets tripped up, and she is on the ground. And she'll be a little bit to get back up. Here she comes. She's helped up by her teammates. That was a hard tumble there for Delaney Earl. Have a stop on the clock here for an injury. 11 minutes 41 seconds left of regulation. Earl will stay in the game. Kicking away will be Haley Hott. Preparing to sub back into the game will be Annie Mosca. Kelly with the ball. Kelly keeps it off of screaming down by Petticord. And now with the ball off of for a corner kick again off the foot of Maggie Petticord will be Capital. It will be attempted again by Bella Shively. And subbing in for Sydney Earl will be number 26, Annie Mosca. Kicking away. And kicking away will be Bella Shively. Shively kicks away. Ball's in the air. Ball's out. Ball's up for grabs. A little bit of mumbo jumbo here around the goal box. but it'll fall out, and it'll still be recovered by Otterbein. However, so Otterbein still has possession of the ball. Shively trying to dribble around Casey King. Shively kicks it away, trying to kick it back over to Earl. Ball gets kicked away, however, and it gets recovered. Looks like it's going to be kicked off of a Capital defender. Looks like it's going to be kicked off of Rotolo, and it'll be Otterbein ball. Ball will be tossed in by Bella Shively. Correction. Ball will be tossed in by Haley Hott, as Shively leaves it on the ground for Hott to recover. Hott looking for an open woman, but a whistle will be blowing it down. And ref will reposition Haley Hott to let her know that she definitely did that Hott moved up a little bit, and it'll be Otterbein ball from a little bit farther away. A little bit of a shoulder check there on Capital's end. So there'll be a foul on Cap. Ball is marked at the spot of the foul. Shively will set it up. Shively setting up here for the penalty kick. Here it comes. Kicks away. High kick. Kicks blocked away by Bachman. Ball's recovered by Bernhold. Bernhold looking for an open woman. Bernhold gets open. Bernhold passing it inside. Oh! Delaney Earl gets tripped up on the inside, and a possible 2-0 opportunity to possibly take this game out of reach is a little bit botched there. As the ball rolls out of bounds on the far sideline, it'll be Capital ball. And subbing into the game, and we'll have a new sub in for the Crusaders. Looks like it's going to be Holly Barledge subbing in for Jewitz. Shively took a hard shot to the chin there. She's fine. Looks like she'll be fine. She'll try to walk it off as Kelly trying to pass it over to Laney Earl, but the ball gets stolen away from her. It'll be stolen and kicked out of bounds. It'll be Otterbein ball. With the ball now is Haley Hott preparing to toss it back in. Here it comes. With the ball is Kelly. Maya Kelly. Dribbling around Petticord. Kelly trying to get open, but she gets pushed out, and it'll be Capital ball for a goal kick. Bachman kicks away. Here comes the ball after a couple of volleys. Looks like it's going to be possessed by Capital. Capital with the ball. Capital will get blocked off, however, and looks like Annie Howell's trying to block it off, trying to get the ball open out to her women, try to get over to Kelly, but the ball will keep getting dribbled around by Capital. Capital doing a great job of offense, just passing it around, playing some good team ball, but it'll be kicked away by Otterbein. About 7 minutes, 45 seconds left in this game. 1-0. Otterbein leads Capital off of some late-time heroics after some late-time heroics by Otterbein. Now, with the ball, after a toss-in looks like a couple of volleys will come down here and there. This ball's going to be recovered here by Capital on the far side, on their side. Now with the ball is Cap. Capital trying to dribble it around, but it'll be picked off by Otterbein, and Capital will take it back. However, a foul will be called. And again, that goal accredited to Bella Shively. Otterbein kicking the ball away. Here come the Cards. Priscilla Severance trying to get the ball away from Capital, Capital will keep the ball. And kicking it away will be Howell. Good play by Howell to kick the ball out of the feet of Capital and pin them back where they don't want it. Back in their corner. Here comes Otterbein. Ball will be kicked out of bounds. And it looks like it's going to be Capital ball after a toss-in. Otterbein trying to hustle back downfield, trying to do as much as they can. About 6.5 minutes left in the game.
Back into the Cardinals, number 8, Emily Gans.
And subbing back into the game for the Cards will be number 8, Emily Gans. Gans subbing in for Maya Kelly. Kelly played very, very well so far throughout this game, playing a very, very important role. doing some great work on the offensive side, distributing the ball where it needed to be. Now with the ball is Otterbein. Otterbein taking an inside shot. Ooh, hard shot off the shin there of Capital. Now Best, Katie Best, trying to kick it over to Bernhold. Holly Bernhold with the ball. Bernhold trying to kick it back downfield, and she will be intended for Earl. Earl running back downfield. Earl one-on-one. Earl will try to get the ball down. One-on-one with the defender. Earl trying to kick it back inside. It looks like it was intended for Gans. Gans will miss the ball, however, and it'll be recovered by Otterbein after Earl takes the ball back after a missed kick by Cap. And Earl will kick it off the shin of a Capital defender. Looks like it was kicked off the shin of Alyssa Kimbler, and it'll be Otterbein ball for a goal kick. Goal kick will be attempted by Bella Shively. And getting ready to sub back into the game is Sydney Young. Kicking off is Shively. Shively kicks it away. Looks like it'll be recovered by Otterbein. Otterbein will keep it inside. Otterbein! Ooh, ball rolled right by the goalpost. Kick was made by, it appeared to be Delaney Earl. Earl setting up for a kick. Earl! Oh, almost gets the kick, almost gets the header off, but just blocked by Bachman. Good move by Otterbein. Good effort to keep the ball in play and get another goal. Get this game out of reach with about 4.5 minutes left in regulation. Otterbein leads 1-0 off of a goal by Bella Shively. With the ball is Otterbein. Annie Howe kicking it over. Looks like the pass was intended there for Delaney Earl, but it'll fall out of bounds, land off the foot of Casey King. It'll be Otterbein ball. Now subbing into the game is Sydney Young. Young will be subbing in for Annie Howe. With the ball is Haley Hott. Haley Hott tossing it downfield and be recovered by Otterbein. Recovered by Otterbein's Emily Gans. Gans keeping it in bounds. Good move by Gans. Good footwork there. Gans will get picked off by Jade Hoffman. With the ball now is Otterbein. Gans trying to kick it inside to Shively. Shively gets picked off. And it looks like it's going to be an Otterbein ball on the near sideline. And there'll be a toss in, not a corner kick. Be tossed in by Haley Hott, number 15. The ball is Haley Hott. Haley Hott tossing it inside to Delaney Earl. Earl kicks it off the shin of a Capital defender. It'll be Otterbein ball for another corner kick. Otterbein really sort of taking over offensively in stats throughout this game. Otterbein taking 16 shots so far to Capitals, 8, doubling their shot total again from last week. Otterbein 4 shots on goal to Cap's 3. Cap hasn't maintained another shot on goal since the first half. Kicking the ball away will be Bernhold. Bernhold takes a high kick, a little fall out of bounds. It'll be Capital ball. As there's a little bit of communication error coming on here between Otterbein's coaches and their players. And then here comes Haley Hott. Haley Hott heads it right out of bounds to keep the ball out of play and keep the score alive at 1-0. With the ball now is Delaney Earl. Looks like there's going to be an offsides call here on Delaney Earl, so it'll be Capital ball. Both teams in double-digit territory as far as it comes with fouls. It's not something good, but also pretty common between a crosstown rivalry game. Now with the ball is Casey King. King getting ready to throw it back in on the near sideline of Otterbein, excuse me. And Otterbein kicks it away. Good long kick there by Cassidy Nickel. Nickel looks like Gans trying to kick the ball back over to the Capital side, and it'll be picked off by Jade Hoffman. With the ball now is Shively. Shively kicking it back over to, it looks like it was intended for Gans, but it'll be recovered by Hoffman. Hoffman kicking back over to Bachman. Bachman winds up, takes a high kick, lands around the 48-yard line of Otterbein. As Otterbein takes a shot, and it rolls over the fence and into DeVore Hall as Priscilla Severance takes a high shot to take it out of bounds. Now with the ball is Capital after a missed shot by Otterbein. With the ball is Petticord. Petticord kicking it inside. Petticord gets blocked, however, by Otterbein's Katie Best. After a long-range shot there by Capital, it's recovered by Aaron Gordon. Gordon with the ball. Looks like she's going to find an open woman, just throw it back into play. Maybe. Here she comes, punts it away instead. Ball's going to land around the 50-yard line, gets headed around the 40 of Otterbein. Now with the ball is Sydney Young. Young trying to pass it over to Emily Gans. Gans gets the ball taken away from her, and it'll be Capital ball. And we have 1 minute of regulation left. And kicking it away is Capital's Maggie Petticord. Petticord trying to kick it away to Fike. Fike kicks back over to Bridget Mallon. Mallon trying to pick it back over to Dion. And Dion will get picked off here by by Otterbein, as looks like Priscilla Severn tried to take it downfield, but it will be recovered by Capital. With the ball now is Petticord. Petticord trying to kick it over to Fike. Fike misses the ball, gets kicked over to Kimbler. Now with the ball is Bachman. Bachman runs all the way out to the 35-yard line to keep the ball in play. And now with the ball, looks like Casey King's going to hustle for the ball. Kicking it out of bounds.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And Otterbein wins 1-0 at the end of regulation. Otterbein beats their crosstown rivals 2 games in a row to make it to the OAC final here in Westerville. The road to the NCAAs runs through Westerville, Ohio once again, as in Ohio Northern in the final this Saturday, November 3rd. And again, whoever wins this tourney championship will earn an NCAA Division III bid. This would be a first for Otterbein in a bit of a while here. And again, good hustle here by both teams. Otterbein, here's some end of the game stats for you. Otterbein, looks like Otterbein definitely doubled Capital's total shot score, 16-8 there towards the end of the game. And here we come here as far as total shots go, Otterbein led the way 16-9 against Capital. Shots on goal about even 4-4 apiece. Saves 4 for Otterbein, 3 for Capital, and that one non-save becoming the 1-0 lead Otterbein needed from Bella Shively. Now, corners. Capital attempted 0 corner kicks throughout the game. A big impact there, as they really had no offensive presence really throughout the game, especially in the second half, compared to Otterbein's 10. And as far as offsides go, both teams went about 2 apiece. Otterbein only 13 fouls compared to Capital's 14. Again, only 1 foul can really make the difference between winning and losing. Both teams went 2 yellow cards apiece and 0 red cards apiece. Again, great game being played by both teams. Great crosstown rivalry sportsmanship being shown, and just a great day to be an Otterbein Cardinal. And looks like Otterbein's going to be celebrating here in their big little O celebration here. Great day to be a Cardinal. Again, come back Saturday, November 3rd at 7 p.m. where you can see Otterbein, the number 1 overall seed and OAC regular season champion, 14-2-1 overall in the regular season, take on either the number 3 Mount Union Purple Raiders or the number 2 Ohio Northern Polar Bears here in Westerville, Ohio. And the champion of that game earns an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. My name is Sam Hamid, signing off here from 97.5 WOBN Radio, the Wild Card here in Westerville, Ohio, as Otterbein defeated Capital 1-0.